Hara Hara Shankara Jai Jai Shankara. Pancha maha Pathakam. There are 5 deadly sins for which there is no remorse. Okay. One such is having a rover's eye on another person's partner. Before I get into this video, do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And a word of caution, it's none of my business to poke into your private life, to advise you on what is right, what is wrong. Then, I am not judgmental, but according to Shastras, what are the consequences of one's actions is something. As per the Shastras, from the frame of Shastras, what could be the likely problem and the probable solutions. So this particular video must be viewed from that particular frame. I'm no one to interfere in your private life. None of my business. Okay. So with that understanding, I'll get into this video. Today, it has become increasingly common for people to mingle with another person and get closer. I hope I'm very diplomatic in what I'm trying to convey. So, by doing so, again, I'm saying I'm no one to do moral policing, nor am I here to tell you that, okay, this should not be done, that should not be done. As I said, none of my business. Okay. But as per Shastras, what are the consequences of one's actions? What are all the various problems one goes through? And what are the probable solutions? So that is how I've prepared the video. Okay. Now, when a person gets closer to another person, what happens? As per Shastras, it's called Pancha maha Pathakam. One of the Pathakam is it takes place, and as a result of that, if the person is an entrepreneur, his business life gets affected. If the person is an employee, despite having a lot of talents, the person gets stuck in life. There is absolutely no growth. The person's rightful promotion gets disturbed. The person's family life gets disturbed. Life as a whole gets disturbed. Okay. Recently, I was working with a couple of people. I was guiding a couple of people. So one person became intimate with another, and the person started losing his mind. I am not referring to any sex because the sex of the person for various reasons. Again, I'm saying I'm not into moral policy, but what happens as a consequence of that? The person lost his mind, had a lot of mental health issues. Then the person was not, stable in his job, and the relationship between the partners were also not that great. In short, the person was like a living dead body with absolutely no momentum, completely stuck and still. Lot of emotional baggages, not having a stable mind, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Another instance, there was a owner of a company, and between that person and another person, there was a lot of connection, despite being married. Both of them being married to various people. I mean, married to their life partner. But what happened? They became close. I mean, one person is married to another person is married to another person. Or rather, simply put, X is married to A, Y is married to B. Okay? X and Y come closer, they become intimate. As a result, their business, which was flourishing very nicely, started, falling down. The downslide started. What was going very smoothly, all of a sudden there was a speed breaker or there was a roadblock. Again, 90-degree pathala. They were clueless as to why this is happening. Another person is a bisexual. Okay, he was hiding this from his parents, and he was treated. He is going through various treatments for various things. Doctors aren't able to identify or decode. Okay, look, this is the problem. Upon finding deeper and deeper, we figured out that. I figured out that when I say we, with the guidance of Guru and Ambal, I was able to figure out that, okay, the person is bisexual. I broke that news to their parents. They were shocked and surprised as to how their son could do this. So many times we are able to identify the problem, and by going to the root and root cause of the problem, and then coming out with various types of solutions. So as a result, he lost his balance. He lost his mind because the guilt, the shame. Not everyone can accept this sort of a behavior. Not every family can accept this sort of behavior because the value systems, cultural issues, societal issues, all these forces of family, the person to get into a shame, guilt. As a result of that, the person uh, became so depressed. He stopped communicating with others. He was leading a secluded life, a life where he has built an empire within, and he was not allowing anybody to intrude that particular shell, that wall. It was very difficult to break. With pure divine grace and compassion and kindness, I was able to break it, decode the entire problem. The whole family was going through a very traumatic phase. See, again, I'm saying when somebody goes closer to another person, before you go closer, think 100 times. But after you do that, be prepared to face the consequence. You might argue thousands of things. It may affect you in the initial phase itself, or it may affect you at a later phase or your subsequent generations. Okay? So be careful on what you're doing because your actions, for every action, there is an opposite reaction. So, as per Shastras, what is the solution? Okay, you did this, fine. You cannot go back and change it. Now what? See, I've seen entrepreneurs during their teens, they were labeled a cowboy. They became so close to other person. Okay, but after that, what happened? The kind of business they were doing were flourishing like anything. All of a sudden, 90-degree fall. Okay, we identified. I identified what is the root cause of the problem, and came out with a solution. Okay, you may ask, okay, tell me what is the solution? I've done this. Now what? Now what? What solution? Okay, let me come back. Let me get on to the solution aspect of it. See, this is not told by me, but by the Shastras. Again, let me go back to the problem statement. Ravana is supposed to be one of the greatest Shiva Bhakts. Okay, he had got Atmalingam from Lord Shiva. He got a lot of things from Mother. In fact, out of various Shakti Peetams, one is in Sri Lanka. If I'm right, it's a place called Trikonamalai. But despite all that, is he identified as a Shiva Bhakt, as somebody who worships divine, or is he identified with one alleged? Why I'm using the word alleged is because none of us were alive at that time. So whatever has been told traditionally as per Shastras, I'm saying, okay, is he identified as somebody who has kidnapped Sita? Because he had that rover's eye on another person's wife, what happened to that person? Is he known as a Shivbhakt today? Definitely not. He is identified as somebody who has kidnapped Sita Ma. So this is just an example. Okay, don't take it literally. Just an example. And like this, there are many people who are eyeing another person's partner. Well, that is entirely private and personal, and it's none of my business to comment on it. But as per Shastras, Pancha maha papat pramuchyate, sayamadiyano divasakritam papam nasayati, pradaradiano ratrikritam papam nasayati. So the sins you commit in the morning, by evening it is nullified. Whatever sins you commit by evening or during in the evening and in the night, by the next day morning it is nullified. महाविज्ञात प्रमुच्यते महादोषात् प्रमुच्यते महापापात् प्रमुच्यते स सर्वविद् भवति स सर्वविद् भवति य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषत्. This is not told by Prakash. This is told by the Vedas and Ganapati Upanishad. That is an authority. The Atharva Shirsham is an authority, like a Supreme Court order. Nobody can challenge it. Okay? So, if you are going through any of these symptoms that I mentioned, that is, despite married, not being together, okay, or there is always a lot of friction between the husband and the wife, there's always no contentment in life. I can keep on adding what of them because there is no end to human beings' problems. So if you are going through anything like this, I have shared my email ID in the description. Do write to us with your name, phone number, importantly, your WhatsApp number. We will get in touch with you. So, in case you have any such things that I had mentioned, do write to us and we'll come back to you with what you need to do and the way forward. So, wishing you all the very best. Guru Kataksham, Ambala Nagaram, Paripurnam, Paripurna Ashirvadam.